What's going on, gamers? Just got home, but I got to see the showcase on the road because we had a lot of busy stuff going on today. I want to go definitely regarding my brother and stuff, but let's get right into this. What I'm going to tell you straight up, what I think is that this showcase was better than the PlayStation showcase, and it wasn't overhyped like you thought the PlayStation showcase was going to be. Like, it was supposed to be better the way Sony set things up in theaters and all that. I love the summer showcase as well. Both of these were actually really good, and Microsoft put on a really good show. And I see people leaving dumb comments because I said I think Gears going exclusive was a bad idea. Well, the reason why I think that is because how do shooters survive in this era? That's what I'm trying to tell you. And you put it day one on Game Pass because you need those players on Xbox. Because if you didn't put it day one on Game Pass, then you're trying to actually sell a lot of copies on Xbox and move consoles and drop the price of the hardware. They still didn't talk about dropping the price of the Xbox console. So I don't even think this is literally about selling more Xbox consoles. This is literally about not having it on PlayStation, but you still have it on Steam, so it's not a true exclusive. But we're going to get back to that in a second because there's a lot to talk about when it comes to that. But the showcase for 2026, like I said, is actually a pretty good showcase. I think it's one of the best showcases they've ever done, to be honest with you. That it was really good, and that's what you want. I'm not a hater. I'm not going to be sitting there hating. I looked at some of these videos, which I thought was funny. I'm like, no, you're wrong. I'm going to have a separate reaction for the Dreamcast guy one because I thought that was absolutely hilarious, but I'm like, no, I can't agree with that. But starting off with Gears of War E, they started off with it. Now, it looks like Gears of War, but it looks like the Gears of War that we knew when Cliff Bleszinski was there with Epic Games. Coalition actually managed to pull it off. Now, when the full game launches, we're going to see how that goes. But from what I've seen so far, and I saw the extended on the way back home on my phone, I actually liked what I saw. I see that there's 12-player Horde co-op, which is actually cool. Hopefully Gears can do something. But I think it's going to be tough because you're basically saying, Steam, I need you to do better than what 360 did in those days. Like, Gears has to sell like 7 to 10 million copies. I think there's no hope for it if not, because games like that die so fast in this age. It's absolutely insane. That's what I kind of want to talk about. Look at Arc Raiders. Look at Battlefield. Look at any shooter, Highguard, that tries to release Concord. They just die like so fast. Arc Raiders actually was hanging around, and it was actually a good game. You know what I mean? Battlefield was actually a good game. The last Call of Duty was garbage, but kind of get the idea when you were looking at even the top played games on PlayStation. And you look at those shooting games, they're like free-to-play games like Fortnite and stuff. They're all tanking down, every single one of them. So I'm worried about Gears' longevity, but it looks good. There's nothing wrong with that. But Microsoft, just to me, is just confused because they want to play it only with that game. But then you made it sure that you're still literally a third-party publisher that wanted to do one game that is going to be probably dedicated to the 25th anniversary. If you would have said something like that, I would have been like, I can understand that. You want to do that as a gift to Xbox players. But you'd have to be in the Gears. But most Xbox gamers are shooter gamers. It's a shooting console historically. It's a shooting brand historically, where it's about shooters more than anything in the world. So I can understand that. Modern Warfare 4 does look better than the last one, but I'm just tired of seeing Call of Duty, so I don't care. And they ended it with that, but I'm like, that's not something special to me because we see it every single year, and I'm so tired of it. But that does look better than Black Ops 7 for sure. No doubt about that. Halo campaign evolved. I don't care what you tell me, what you think, how good it looks graphically and all this. It's Unreal Engine 5. You not having multiplayer for this is the dumbest decision you've ever made historically. Even more than not having exclusives, because at least you could have probably returned with that, with multiplayer, trying that with Gears. It's like, okay, you have some sort of era that literally is the foundation of your era. Not Gears, Halo. Gears was big, but it was never nowhere as big as Halo. But it was still like big in its days, and I loved both of them. As I told you guys before, I was number one in the world in Gears 2. So I loved Gears back in the days, but Gears 1 is my favorite of all time. I put like so much hours into that game. Me and my brothers did. Rest in peace to him. But though I'm going to play Halo Campaign Evolved, and they did exactly what I thought they should have did. $49.99. Okay, that's good. I think Xbox games should be $60, and you need to drop the price of the consoles. You don't have a choice. So Asha doing that, remember guys, if Steam does not carry the weight for Gears of War E-Day, I don't trust Xbox when it comes to things. They lie a lot. We've seen it before. I agree with Dreamcast guy and that and other people, 4 games only. You could end up changing that because you're not getting back the profit that you need. So it better sell 3 to 4 million copies on Steam within a year. And at least 1.5 million on Xbox. If they don't hit 5 million in a year, they're in trouble. Because you guys know this as much as I know this. As much as I love the showcase, amazing showcase. There's so many video games coming out in October and September it is absolutely insane because GTA is going to take the window in November. How long could Gears of War hold people's attention before all these other games consistently keep coming out? We've seen them. There's so much jam-packed in September. Everybody wants to avoid the GTA window. So if Steam does not carry its weight, I don't know what to say. You could have had a really good game and you kind of dropped the ball by not having it on PlayStation. But if you want to do that console exclusive, I'm not mad at them for that. I'm just worried about it from a community standpoint and from a long-term standpoint. Look at, like I said, look at what happened with Battlefield. Look at what happened with Arx and all those other shooters. They just do not survive that long. Now, Metro 2039, we know that's coming to every other console. Actually, every game here is coming to PlayStation 5 besides Gears and Clockwork. I just don't really care about Clockwork. I don't think that's going to do anything or move some consoles or any of that. Everything's already overpriced. So, no. Fable, it looked a little bit different. With the way they showed it that way, it was different compared to what you were seeing before. I still think the game needs more time to cook, but I'm still excited for Fable. I'll be playing it on my PS5 Pro, of course, along with Halo Campaign Evolve and Metro 2039. Call of Duty, I could give two damns about. Minecraft Dungeons 2 is cool. We know that's coming to Switch 2. That's a game that fits in there. I'm curious to see what Microsoft is going to be working on to actually bring to the Switch 2. Like, what else is going to be coming? I think they should do games like Forza Horizon 5, Spiral Realm Beyond, Minecraft Dungeons 2. Try to get a Fable on there. Try to get Halo on there. Call of Duty is already coming. You know what I mean? Put all the Senua games. That's the next game we're going to talk about. But yeah, put all those games on there. Senua is the next game. All right, so I kind of feel like they're kind of making this game way too fast, and now you just already pumped out another one, and you didn't put enough depth into it. That's what I kind of felt about Hellblade 2, though I loved it, but I feel like what you're not doing is giving it enough development time to make it groundbreaking, where you have next-gen combat mechanics, and things have great evolution to them. I just feel like you're just trying to get them to just keep making that, you know what I mean? And honestly, I have to say this one, more than all the other ones, just did not move me. And it kind of felt like just slamming it in there, like some AI made it a year later. We just had part 2 not too long ago, man. I don't know what to tell you. Remember when they revealed part 2? You thought that was going to be way better than what they presented it, but it still was kind of the same thing. So I don't know what to say about that. Wulong 2 is cool. We know that's coming to all consoles. They were just showing that. But still, you know, this showcase, the reason why it beats State of Play is not because of the beginning and the ending. They both kind of had a similarity to that in certain ways, though God of War was a lot better than Call of Duty. I'm just saying I was not excited about Call of Duty. And Gears, Wolverine took that cake. But in between is where Microsoft won because they were consistent in their reveals, first party and third party, and they had a lot more of their games shown. But Xbox needs this way more than PlayStation needs this. State of Decay 3 was the next game that was shown. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what I think about this game. I still have my eyes open on it, but it didn't blow me away. But I think that this game could have huge potential if it's finished right by 2027. I like that you actually gave me gameplay now. I like Undead Labs. They actually never give up on their games, and they release a lot of updates for them. So I have high hopes for State of Decay 3, and this is a game that I think, if done right, can sell more than Gears of War and Halo Campaign Evolved. Because it's just one of those games that's going to be on PlayStation 5 and Steam, and it's a survival shooter, and it has those survival mechanics. You guys know how those games go, like Arc Raiders. I think this game could be in that position. It has a chance to actually do that. So if they pull it off right, yeah, 2027 could be looking pretty good for Xbox as well, and they may drop the Helix there, depending on how insane this AI market is. So, like, that's my thing there. But I liked what I saw with State of Decay 3, but I wasn't blown away. That's what I have to say. But I liked it, though. Resonance, it's cool seeing that. It seems like they're taking a different approach than the other two Resonance games. If you guys have not played them, those are amazing games, and I absolutely loved them. They were on Game Pass when I played them. And I'm telling you right now, do not miss those games. The Plague Tale series is absolutely amazing. Plague Tale Innocence, loved it. Clockwork, okay, so for some reason, I think they're hyping up this game to be much better than you think it could be. Like, there's some people thinking because it's an exclusive, this could be one of those games. They could get in like a Game of the Year contender category next year and be like a high 80 or maybe have a chance to get in the 90 meta bracket. If they end up pulling that off and they have that as an exclusive, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But when I think of exclusive, I think of, no, it's just only exclusive in the console world, but it's still going to be on Steam, and Steam is not Xbox. So Gears of War is not an Xbox-only exclusive. It is an Xbox console exclusive without the install base needed. Because usually when you're dropping a game this late like that in your generation, you better at least have 50 million install base or something, you know what I mean? Like, at least the series, not series, at least the Xbox One got to 50-something million, 58 million. I don't understand Series X exclusive. Like, It's just weird because you ain't gonna have the basic supporters, so that's why you're using Steam on the side. I think this is just kind of like a shot at PlayStation saying we need something for our 25th anniversary. If that's what you want to do, sure, go ahead. You know what I mean? I'm not hating. If I want to play the game, I can get a PC and play it, or play it on my PC right here. It's not that big of a deal to me. Next, we had Spiral Realm Beyond. Well, since they have Activision, they have Spiral. It's good to see that they're continuing on that series that used to be with PlayStation. As we know, Activision, Toys for Bob and all of them, they now own Spiral, whereas Insomniac used to be the developers for Spiral. Interesting stuff, how that kind of changes sometimes. So I expect Activision to be pumping out more games, which is actually good. Now work on a next-gen Tony Hawk. Put more IPs out. Don't be just a Call of Duty factory. That's actually a good thing that I like seeing. Next up, we got the Dark Age Revelations expansion from Doom. Honestly, I feel like this was the most soulless Doom, but I still love it as a Doom game. But that's an expansion, and it's cool, but it's like, yeah, you know, I don't know. It didn't reach the peaks of Eternal, and it didn't sell that well. I'm actually disappointed, you know, and that's where I feel like, yeah, you got to find a way to improve that studio, but I don't know why. But it's cool that you're getting more Doom content. Doom is still amazing. I've been playing Doom and Wolfenstein since Super Nintendo days, all the way back in those times. Then we had the Persona 4 remake, which we knew what was happening. That's cool. That'll be everywhere. Castlevania Belmont's Curse. I'm excited for this. I've always been a Castlevania lover. I've been playing Castlevania since Nintendo days, and I will continue to play Castlevania forever. And it seems like they're kind of going with the Bloodstained direction, and I'm actually very excited for that. So yeah, I'll be definitely keeping my eyes on that game, and that's a game I'll be getting day one for sure. Where Winds Meet, I already played that on PlayStation, put a good amount of time into it. It's cool seeing that that's coming to Xbox. You guys will like that game. It's a cool gacha game, and it's actually very, very good when it comes to not trying to paywall you. That's not in that game like that. And if you only care about vanity being an option for spending money, play Where Winds Meet. That's the cool thing that I like about it. I'm just kind of burnt out on the gacha formula. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, whatever. Now, Persona 6, I heard rumors about this being announced at the showcase. It was cool, though we didn't get much on it, but seeing that it's there actually is like, okay, cool. I'm happy to actually see that. So we know that's going to be huge. I'm getting that on PlayStation, though. Obviously, I want to play that on the PS5 Pro. And maybe around that time, hell, that probably won't even be coming out for quite some time. So that was cool. Microsoft Flight Simulator, I mean, I'm not into that, and neither is a lot of people, but I'm pretty sure it has its niche base. But that's still an Xbox identity game, so that's cool. Crazy Taxi World Tour, I've been waiting to see what Sega's going to do about this, and they finally revealed it. I liked what I see. I'm happy. I used to play tons of Crazy Taxi on Dreamcast, so I definitely have to get this just because it's good seeing Sega come back strong. Sea of Thieves actually had its DLC, so did Elder Scrolls and Fallout 76. But then again, I literally don't have any interest in any of this. And I'm like, whatever. But if you guys are happy about that, cool. Valor Mortis looks like a cool, unique game. But once again, all these games are coming to PlayStation 5. So cool. Age of Empire, same thing right behind here. Don't really care. Bad Magpie is actually a funny game. I was laughing at it. Vivarium looks cool. And then you had the Magicians of Devil's Deal. So, like, overall, Microsoft had a good showcase. They were very consistent. I like the Gears Extended. I thought that was cool, too. But what I will say is that when it comes to PlayStation, Sony's in the position to get beat by this showcase and Games Fest and be fine because they already did their work for the rest of the generation. And they already had multiple showcases this year, and they're pretty much having a ton of games we've already seen. But even then, we still thought that that was a little bit overhyped. And I had a feeling that the Xbox Game Showcase would beat the PlayStation State of Play, and I was correct. It did. It was definitely better. So I want you guys to let me know what you think about this. And when it comes to exclusivity, I may actually have to do a full video about that, just talking about it separately, about how the way Microsoft is doing things is still kind of like cracking open a door because I think because she talked about it so much, she kind of wanted to do that. And it kind of gets her some positive affirmation from the Xbox fans. And it'll probably make some people happy. Like, you know, Tim Dog changing his logo back again. You know, he's just said that. I understand that. I'm not judging badly. But my thing is that you still kind of confuse your base a lot. And I think when you do something, you need to make sure you stick with it and try to be consistent. Because now it's like, this is a case-by-case basis, meaning that there's no way we can do this. Because Satya knows this as well as she does. We will not be able to be a sustained publisher and be dominant if we do this. It's impossible. We need PlayStation. We need Nintendo Switch too. You know? But Gears, I guess this is an exception. And it's not just a light one. It's like, that's a heavy move. You know what I mean? Let's see how things turn out, right? Let's see how the Xbox console users actually respond. Let's see how the Steam base actually responds. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how these results are going to be. I would like for them to share the results of Forza. I don't want to hear from Alina Analytics. It's like, that's not Xbox telling me. I want to hear from Matt Piscatella, Christopher Dring, and from Mitsu, and then get the real numbers. And it's like, okay, here are the real numbers here, right? Rather than Alina Analytics telling me something and you only telling me players. No, how much did you sell? If you did good, say it. But then they feel like if they do that, they're going to have to open up other doors and be honest. Sony's even selective about what they share. But even then, when they do very well, they actually share it. It used to be where PlayStation would share all their sales numbers. Nintendo hides nothing. That's what I love about them. But I wish Xbox would be more transparent. And if Asha, you want to be more transparent, don't hide numbers anymore. Share everything. Because so what? You know what I mean? The Xbox base has already accepted so many defeats and nails, it's not even funny. They know how bad it is. And so does everybody else. So why hide numbers at this point? No, share everything. Then you can be transparent. People feel like you're respecting them because you're not hiding your failures. You're actually admitting them. And then you can improve together, honestly, and get critical and honest feedback. That's something you kind of have to do. I feel like that has to happen. But with you hiding so many things and doing the flip-flopping and then doing all this and that, and then the Matt saying, you know, this about exclusives, and no, there's not, and then her doing that, and then now he's all with that, and then you just keep changing things around because you're now trying to cater to whatever's left over in the Xbox world. I mean, be kind of consistent and transparent. If you mess up, just say it. I think a lot of more people will be happy about that, to be honest with you, and they'll respect you more because you're not God. You know what I mean? You know, you're actually in an impossible position to try to make something almost not possible to try to happen. I'm not mad at her because she made Gears exclusive. AGN's not salty about that. My thing is that you really have to think about this market, how much is coming around the corner, and how hard it is for those games. It's not the 360 era, for those type of games to actually survive. And it's more harder now than ever. I think that the community is going to be in trouble in the long term. But if it ends up not being the case, that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's just my take because, like I said, name me some of the biggest shooters in the past couple years. We're not talking about free-to-play games that you actually have to sell. And I want to ask you a question, all the way up to Battlefield and Arcs. Did they survive? And how long did they die off? And they were on all platforms. It's tough. That's what I'm worried about when it comes to Gears of War. And I'm a huge lover of the Gears of War franchise. So let's see what happens, y'all. Become a member if you want. Leave a tip down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. I would appreciate that. My thing here is that this is going to be interesting going forth. What is going to be the next selected game as an exclusive? Clockwork doesn't shake people like Gears does. If you were a PlayStation only gamer and you really wanted to play Gears, of course that's going to probably affect you. It's not going to affect me. I'm okay because I have other options. But Clockwork, I kind of feel like I don't care. But Gears, well, subjectively, I'm fine. But I mean, like the gaming community, hey, you guys let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Later. Keep on gaming, no matter what platform you're on. Peace.